Welcome back to Histopath Academy. Today we're covering tissue processing steps in a clear, practical way. And as you listen, keep asking yourself one question. At this step, what am I removing and what am I replacing it with? Because that single mindset prevents most processing errors. And before we start, if you want more high-yield histopathology content explained simply, please like this video and subscribe to Histopath Academy. It really helps the channel grow and helps more students. Now, once a tissue is already properly fixed and ready for processing, the goal is to convert a soft, water-containing specimen into a wax-supported tissue that can be cut into thin sections without tearing, crumbling, or giving patchy staining. And the logic is built on three core steps only: dehydration, clearing, and paraffin infiltration. So think water out, alcohol out, wax in. Step 1 is dehydration, meaning we remove water from tissue because water and paraffin cannot mix. And in routine histology, this is done using a graded alcohol series, commonly 70% ethanol, then 80%, 95%. And finally, absolute alcohol, often in 2 changes. So here's an engagement check for you. Why not start directly with 100% alcohol? Because a sudden jump can cause rapid extraction of water, leading to distortion, shrinkage, and hardening, especially in tiny biopsies. In dehydration, the most exam-relevant point is that incomplete dehydration guarantees failure in the next steps, because even small amounts of residual water will block efficient clearing and later prevent full paraffin penetration, and that shows up later as soft blocks, poor ribboning, tearing, and uneven microscopic appearance. Dehydration quality depends on very practical variables: tissue thickness and type, time spent in each alcohol, agitation, and reagent condition. And in real lab life, a common hidden problem is carryover contamination that gradually dilutes alcohol stations, so consistent protocols and reagent maintenance matter. Now, once water is out, your tissue is full of alcohol, but paraffin still cannot mix with alcohol. So we move to step 2, clearing.
2. Clearing, which is basically the bridge step, where alcohol is replaced with a reagent that is miscible with alcohol and also miscible with molten paraffin. Traditionally, the most common clearing agent is xylene because it clears fast and supports excellent infiltration. But many modern labs also use xylene substitutes, often aliphatic hydrocarbon-based clearance or other commercial xylene-free reagents, mainly to reduce odor and exposure concerns. And whichever reagent is used, the principle stays the same. Clearing must be complete, but not excessive. Let's make this interactive. When you hear the terms underclearing and overclearing, you should instantly imagine what you will see later at the microtome. Underclearing means alcohol is still trapped inside tissue, so wax cannot infiltrate properly, leading to blocks that feel soft, often soft in the center, and sections that tear, crumble, or show holes and patchiness. Overclearing means tissue stays too long in the clearing. Agent becomes overly hard or brittle, and later, during cutting, you see shattering, fragmentation, or difficult sectioning, especially in delicate biopsies. Another practical point that improves your troubleshooting skills is remembering that clearing agents get weaker when contaminated by alcohol or water carryover. So if day-to-day block quality is inconsistent, always suspect reagent condition and carryover, not just the tissue. After clearing, we reach the tissue. After clearing, we reach step 3, paraffin infiltration, also called impregnation, where the clearing agent inside tissue is replaced by molten paraffin, giving the tissue internal support so it can be cut into consistent thin sections. Typical routine paraffin melts around 56 to 58 degrees Celsius, and temperature control is critical. If paraffin is too cool or the time is too short, infiltration is incomplete, and you'll see soft blocks, compression, wrinkles, and tearing. But if wax is too hot or the tissue is exposed for too long, tissue can become hard and brittle, and fine morphology can suffer. In automated processing, the same 3 steps happen in the same order, just with more consistency. And many modern processors improve infiltration using vacuum cycles. Vacuum helps remove trapped air and enhances reagent exchange. So automation mainly improves reproducibility and turnaround time, but it does not remove the need for correct protocols, because dense tissues, fatty tissues, and tiny biopsies still behave differently and require validated timing. Now pause and test yourself with a quick mental summary. During dehydration, you are replacing water with alcohol. During clearing, you are replacing alcohol with a paraffin-compatible clearant. And during infiltration, you are replacing the clearant with molten paraffin. If you can say that confidently, you already understand the full logic of tissue processing. And to make your learning even more practical, here are simple what you see later links you should remember. If the block is soft or sections are mushy, think incomplete dehydration or underclearing, leading to poor infiltration. If tissue is brittle and shatters, think overclearing or overprocessing. If quality is inconsistent, think reagent contamination, incorrect timing, or carryover between stations. If this breakdown is helping you, take 2 seconds right now to like the video and subscribe to Histopath Academy, because the next videos will build on this with high-yield lab troubleshooting. But for today, keep it locked to the 3 processing steps only. Dehydration removes water using grated alcohol. Clearing replaces alcohol with a wax-compatible agent like xylene or a modern substitute. And paraffin infiltration replaces the clearing agent with molten paraffin under controlled temperature and time. And if you want, comment below with the one line you'll never forget from today. Water out, alcohol out, wax in.